Can somebody say? So you can see the pattern is H0 and H prime. And you understand that there is no reason why you should give a 0 on the top of it as a superscript in H, because there is nothing called 0th order in the Hamiltonian, right? There is no correction in the Hamiltonian. Hamiltonian is Hamiltonian. So that's why we give it here. So what is the pattern you see? Nobody saw any pattern? Anybody say, please? We have a lot of things to do. Okay. So the pattern is very simple. You can see that H0 psi n 1, you can take a look at this, and H prime psi n 1 minus 1. Okay. And En0 psi n j plus En1 psi n j minus 1. H0 psi n2, this is for j is equal to 2, so that means H0 psi n j plus H prime psi n j minus 1 equals to En0 psi n j plus En1 psi n j minus 1 plus En2 psi n j minus 2. So the pattern is very simple. H0 psi n j plus H prime psi n j minus 1 is equal to En0 psi n j plus En1 psi n j minus 1 plus En2 psi n j minus 2 plus plus En j psi n 0. So that is the pattern. So from this you can write down the equations for the third order and every other order you can write. Okay, so we'll be mostly interested in these two equations in particular. Okay. In the previous class, we actually derived En1, but just for the sake of revision, we'll just do it again in a very simplistic manner. So I write this first equation. So the first order, H0 psi n1 minus En0 psi n1, please verify, plus H prime psi n0 minus En1 psi n0 equals 0. So just rearrange the psi n1 and psi n0 and see what is going on. So we can do it. So we can do it. So H0 minus En psi n1 plus H prime minus En1 psi n0 equal to 0. So now I want to do this exercise psi n from both sides. You must pre-multiply and then integrate over the coordinates. So what happens? Psi n H0 minus En psi n1 plus psi n0 H prime minus En1 psi n0 0. Now psi n 0, H0, psi n1, the first term, right? You can write this as, psi 1a, psi 2 is a, psi 1, psi 2, because your H0 is Hermitian. You can use that, right? So eventually I will get H0 psi n0 psi n1. So that means H0 psi n0 is nothing but En0 psi n0 psi n1. Okay. So if that is what is happening, H0, so maybe it is better to give this. So H0 En0 psi n1, you can see that this exactly is the same stuff. Okay. So I can find out, and En0, so I am left with, so this is actually 0. So you are left with psi n0 psi n0. Psi n0 is what? Psi n0 forms and complete orthonormal set. So that means psi n0 H prime psi n0 H prime psi n0 minus En1 is a constant, En1 psi n0. So in the beginning we'll write the equations is equal to 0. So you can see that this is nothing but your psi n0 is actually 1. So I can do this, and also I can equate this. So En1, this is finally the expression that we derived in the previous class. So En1 is psi n0 H prime psi n1. So we will also give a symbol for the future. We'll give a symbol for this in the future. So what it actually means, the derivation is a little bit, very simple, but what it means is more important. So that means for the nth state, in the first order correction of energy, you have to take, you are only required to have a knowledge of the set psi n0, which is the solution of the unperturbed Hamiltonian, right? Psi n0 and H prime, the perturbed Hamiltonian, the mixing of the perturbed Hamiltonian with the same nth state in the 0th order Hamiltonian. So you just do a matrix integral, you just do a matrix evaluation of the matrix element, and your n is same. Remember, so this is what you are going to see in the future discussion. So please note this: En1 psi n0 H prime psi n0, and we are going to use a notation like this for the future, right? Very simple equation, as you can see. So, but this gives us a few things, let us not forget let us not miss the wood for the trees. So what it actually means is that the first order energy correction is actually nothing but just the matrix element of the nth unperturbed state. Okay, let us see what remains now. So I got an expression, let us write in this side. So I got an expression for I got an expression for En1. Okay, I got, right? What do I need to get further? I need this guy, I need the further, so this is a set, the second order energy correction, which is very important, and then if possible the future strategy, how to generalize this stuff. That is what is the flow of this class. Okay, so the first order energy correction, as you can see, it depends on the 0th order wave function. First order energy correction requires only the zeroth order energy, zeroth order wave functions. Let us now proceed for the second order energy correction, because we will go for the wave function a little bit later. So what is the second? So H0 just psi n2, I am just rewriting, minus En0 psi n2 is H prime psi n1 minus En1 psi n1 minus En2. It's just the rearrangement of that equation. My En2 psi n0. This is the mother equation. So you can follow the same strategy. So this is a group. This is a group. And this is another group. Right? So you can follow the same strategy. Multiply both sides from by psi n0. Okay? So let us see what happens. Psi n0 H0 minus En0 psi n2. Psi n2 means the second order energy wave function, second order correction to the wave function, plus psi n0 H prime minus En1 psi n1 minus En2 psi n0 psi n0 is 0. So I can immediately see that psi n0 is 1. So I can write, just get rid of this guy. Okay, so now I have to work out these two guys, this and this. So let us see what happens. H0, sorry, psi n0, H0, En0, sorry, H0 minus En0 psi n2. What happens to this guy? Can somebody tell me? You have to follow the pattern little bit, so to simplify stuff. Who can say what is going to happen to this? How do you simplify this guy? Just like the way we did it for the first order correction. You have to volunteer to answer. It's not good for me to ask somebody all the time, you know. Otherwise, I have no way to understand what is the mode. First and second terms 0. Madhur says first and second term 0. Other people, please. So that means because psi n0, sorry, psi n0 H0 psi n2 and psi n0 En0 psi n2, right? En0 psi n2 you can write psi n0 H, sorry, En0 psi n2 you can write En0 psi n0 psi n2, right? That is simply, that is easy. But the first term psi n0 H0 psi n2. But this H0s are Hermitian, we have assumed. So psi n0 H0 psi n2 is actually nothing but H0 psi n0 psi n2. H0 psi n0 psi n2 means En0 psi n0 psi n2, right? So that means these two will cancel. So you will get a 0 out of the first term. First and second term 0 means, Madhuri, you probably meant the first and second term. Yes. Okay, so this is 0. So you can see now my first order energy, sorry, so En2. So now En2 has actually come in the closed form. I can write it like this. So En2 is equal to psi n0 H prime En minus, sorry, minus En1 psi n1. See, look at this expression. This is easy to write this equation, but this is not a working equation. Can you tell me why? I can immediately write the first order energy correction. Let us write it for the record. First order energy correction was very simple. Let me write it. First order energy correction I could write maybe this chalk is not so great. So I wrote that En1 is equal to Hn prime is equal to psi n0 H prime psi n0. That is that is the gist of this important discussion. Similarly, I got an expression En2 is this. But can you tell me if this expression is useful for me or not? Is this equation good for me? Who can say, is this expression good for me? Can I just be happy with this expression? Just like I was happy with this because I could just use that, no problem. But is this equation good for me? It is an equation for sure. It's just like, organic chemistry, we did lot of synthesis during our BSc course, and it seemed that, okay, everything is okay. Why doesn't this, I can write like lot of synthesis, I can also write by using lot of equations. But in practice, it doesn't work that way. They just become paper synthesis, not that laboratory synthesis. So what is the difficulty in this equation? This much you should be able to answer. What is the difficulty? Bolo? We do not know psi n1. That's great. That's right. We do not know great psi n1, and that is not a very trivial topic. You just have to see how the wave function is coming in the first order. Yes, we do not know this guy. So we need to write it in some other form, or how to simplify this, if at all we can bypass or not, we have to see. Okay. So otherwise it is okay. Psi n0 H prime psi n1. You see that? The problem is that I do not know psi n1. The second expression is psi n0 En1 psi n1. This one I can handle because En1 can come out. So I will be left with eventually psi n0 psi n1, and I can use some techniques. I mean, in the previous class, I think we introduced the so-called intermediate normalization. So where we have assumed that for a given state which is n in this discussion, all the intermediate corrections, intermediate order connections are orthogonal to each other. Wave functions corresponding to all the different orders of perturbation are orthogonal to each other. That means psi n0 is orthogonal to psi n1. Similarly, psi n0 is actually orthogonal to all other orders. So I can write a k. So I can handle this guy with some understanding, but I have no way to handle this guy. Psi n0 H prime psi n1. This one is a very, very big guy. Right? So that is why I need to discuss further. But this becomes an expression for me. Okay? Understand? So keep your eyes and ears open. Just deriving doesn't make sense. Okay? Okay. So, but still it is a good equation for me. It's a simplified solid equation. So now this is an exercise for you, those of you who are serious. So here is an exercise for you. Similarly, you simply write down this, derive this expression. Psi n1 H prime minus En1 psi n1, okay, minus 2En2 psi n0 You also noticed in this equation, the second order correction requires the information of the first order correction. And the same thing is also seen here. The third order correction requires the second order energy input. So it's a staircase mechanism, and also as you can see, here also you need the first order. You see that there is a 1 in the wave function. So 1, 1, 1, right? So what it means is that if I know the wave function at the 0th level, I can find out the energy. With the knowledge of the 0th order wave function, I can find out the first order energy up to first order. Of course, I can find out the 0th order energy. That is not a big deal because that solution already has E1 0. But on top of En 0, from psi n 0, I can actually use the perturbation theory to get the En 1, the first order correction, up to first order. But the moment I go to the second order energy, I need information about the first order wave function, right? But once I get that, I also see from this equation that first order wave function is sufficient to give me energy correction up to the third order. You see that? So that means if I know the wave function up to the kth order, I can get the energy up to the 2k plus 1th order. That's the understanding. So the moment you have the first order wave function, you can get corrections up to the third order in energy. Similarly, if you take the second order wave function, which is much more difficult, you will see that why it is so, but you will be in a position to get energy correction up to the fifth order. That is how it goes. Okay, so I guess we got some pattern slowly. But now let us proceed for something. So even though I could write something here for En2, but it still is not very convenient for me because I have no mechanism of psi n1. So at this point, I still cannot write psi n2, En2. Okay, I am still left with only this much. This still needs to be discussed. So let us see how we can proceed. So at this point, we have to introduce the term, the so-called Rayleigh-Schrodinger perturbation theory. Okay? So Rayleigh-Schrodinger perturbation theory says what? It is a very simple idea. Very simple idea means, so the crux of the problem is to find out the wave function. So psi n1, psi n2, psi nk. That is the general problem. So Rayleigh-Schrodinger perturbation theory starts with the understanding that you can use the unperturbed states. Remember that eigenvalue equation, the eigenfunctions corresponding to the Hermitian operator, right? Non-degenerate eigenfunctions of a Hermitian operator can form a complete orthonormal set. So I can use this for my advantage to expand. So this, so psi n1 k, I can use this theorem of psi n0 to expand my unknown wave function, which is psi n1, right? And for that matter, you will see that I can write any of these higher order wave functions in an expansion of the first order, 0th order wave functions, right? And that is precisely what I will do. So I will give it k, a, n, k, because it is a first order wave function, so I am giving a 1, 1, 1 everywhere. Because it is nth state, so nth state is there. What is k doing? K is actually doing the projections of the first order wave functions. Okay, so this is psi k 0. Is that clear? So when I finish this exercise, I can just write this, the general term, because I have to do this for this also. So I can just do this. There are too many k's, I cannot give k. So let us give it a j. Okay, jth order. So this is A n k, this should be j psi k 0. Psi k 0 is still the same, you can use it, right? So I will use this. Once you do this, then it's a matter, it's just going back to the same equation that we used and use this now. So what it means is that we go back to that equation, h0 psi n1 plus h prime psi n0 is equal to en0 psi n1 plus en1 psi n0. I can start from here. So I'll get rid of these guys now. So I'll use only this equation. This one in the place of psi n1. Okay. So we can write h0 minus en0. Okay. Psi n1 plus h prime minus en0, h prime minus en1, sorry, psi n0 is 0. So now h0 minus en0. Now I want to write this for this expansion. Okay, so let us write a. So this is now becoming, so please follow the notation indexes correctly. nk1 psi k0 plus okay. So now what we are going to do is again the same strategy. We'll pre-multiply by psi L0, a component of that psi k here. So I'll pre-multiply by a psi L0, psi L0 H0 minus En 0 H0 minus En0, okay, and then k a n k psi k 0. It's better to give an nk1 because we are considering the first order correction equation. So did I give nk1? Yes, nk1 is there. So that is this guy, and second expression, sorry, second term plus psi L0 h prime minus en1 psi n0 is 0. So now we have to simplify these two terms. So please look at the second term first. That's easier. And see what simplification can be done. Ten seconds for you. Psi L0 h prime en1 minus e1, yes, sorry, minus h prime minus en1 psi n0. What simplification can I do? So this I can write psi L0 h prime psi n0, okay, psi L0 h prime psi n0. What it means, remember the notation we used for the first order correction. This we are going to h prime ln, something like this, nn and n, okay. So one of them is replaced by an l, so you write l, psi L0 h prime psi n. So this guy is actually h prime ln, okay. And then what is this? Minus en1 psi L0 psi n0. So that means minus en1 delta ln is equal to 0. And then this guy. What is this guy? Please take 10 seconds to work it out. Okay. So I can write psi L0, psi L0, H0, K, A, N, K. You need to do carefully. Don't try to be smart in the beginning, you know. First work it out, then practice, and then you become smart, okay? And then minus En0, I can always bring it. So psi L0, K, ANK1. That's what it means. So we are just trying to simplify these two. Okay, so let us look term by term, psi L0, H0, and this guy. Okay, so I can write the first one. So this becomes your K equals to K, ANK1, ANK1, psi L0, H0, psi K0, ANK1, summation KNK1, psi L0, H0, psi K0, minus what is 0? En0, minus En0, summation K, ANK, psi L0, psi K0. What it means? This still remains, okay? So that means ANK1. So now, okay, now, so that means now we'll go back and forth here. So that equals to K, ANK1. And what happens to this guy? Psi L0, H0, psi K0, right? So H0, psi L0, psi K0. So that means H0, psi L0 is EL0, right? So I'll write EL0, psi L0, psi K0, okay, minus, and what happens to this guy? En0 is En0, En0, and what happens to this? So when K is equal to L, when K is equal to L, only this survives, right? So when K is equal to L, but the rest all the terms are vanish. Sorry, all the terms will vanish because of the Kronecker delta. So that will give you only one term, ANL psi L0 psi L0, which is 1. So that means I will be left with ANL. There should be an 1 and ANL1. That's all I'll get, ANL1, right? Into 1. Okay, that's fine. So what will happen? ANKL. So now I can use, let us write one more term, one more step. Okay. So now here also I have a situation. So EL0, you can bring it back. So EL0, because there is no summation, no K here. Now this also has a situation like that. You know, if your K is only L, then only this term survives. So that means I will again write ENL1, okay, into 1 minus EN0 A NL1. Okay, so that means I get A NL1 into EL0 minus EN0. Okay, so now I can put the whole stuff over here. So this becomes A NL1 EL0 minus EN0 and then plus this whole stuff. Okay. So I get ENL1 into EL0 minus A10 plus HLN prime plus HLN prime minus EN1 delta LN. We should write NL to be, it's fine, it doesn't matter. So now let us look at this equation for L is equal to N. For L is equal to N, what happens? Please do this. When L is N, what happens to this equation? Can somebody tell me? What happens to this equation for L is equal to N? Who can say? Shiv Kumar, can I say? Okay, Shiv Kumar is not there. Ashish, can you say? Ashish is also not responding. Okay. What about Sanmai? Can you say what is going to happen for L is equal to N? Suranjana. कोई तो बोलो सोमलिका.
Sir, H prime NL equals to EN1.
H prime NN is equal to En1. That's right, because there is nothing, no terms survive. Thank you. So this is becoming 0. So you actually get what you already got here. Right, that's right. So I get En1 is HNN prime. Very good. So that's fine. So now so that is, there is nothing new. Now I am interested in what happens when L not equals to L. So let us see that, what happens to that. So what happens? NL1, maybe it is too much of this thing. ANL1 into EL0 minus EN0. So if your L is not equal to N, so this has to go, right? So that becomes your minus HLN prime. So I write ANL1 is equal to minus HLN prime over EL0 minus EN0. So that means I can write HLN prime over EN0 minus EL0. That's an important relation for me when L not equals to N. Why it is important? We'll see that. Okay? But we still have not made any progress. Remember, this is a good one. Why? This is the vital information for your first order correction, isn't it? If you have a manageable expression for ANL1, ANL1 is H ln prime over A not equal to, sorry, En0 minus EL0, but that is good enough for my first order wave function because psi n1 is K A n K1 psi K0 और क्या चाहिए psi n K1 is already with me, right? So I can just write this, and this expression is friendly. You can see that this expression is friendly because it has En0 minus EL0, which is known to you from the zeroth order equation. And H ln prime is also good for you because you can handle H ln prime because H prime ln both zeroth order wave function. So this all the information is known to you. You see that? So this expression is good for me, except the fact that in order to get the first order correction, I must take care of all the k's. So such an equation, such an ANL1 has to be constructed for all the k, which is not equal to n, because it is done for L not equal to n. See that? So there is an infinite sum. There is an infinite sum, and also, so you understand, so A and K1 I can put it from here, but the problem is this summation. I need to do this so you are looking for an nth state, but to find out the first order correction of the nth state, you need to sum it over all the states not equal to n in the sum, because this is a complete set. So in principle, there is an infinite number of sets. But also for realistic problems, it is not only bound states that you have to see. If there is continuum states, that also has to be included in this sum. That means you will have a summation for the bound states, and you will also have a continuum integration for the continuum states. Right? So it's not a very simple expression, but at least better than nothing. You know, we still have something. So I can use this in the first order correction. Okay. Now let us do the equivalent exercise for the psi n2. So remember, I actually made a progress to find out psi n1. Sorry, let us write it here. So I can write something over here for the ANL1. ANK1 is, what happened to that? So ANL1 is equal to A H Kn prime divided by Nk. We just wrote it for an arbitrary index, it is dummy. So En0 minus Ek0. This much I have got. Right? Because the information of the first order wave function gives you energy correction up to the third order, which we just said in the beginning. So let us see what happens to psi n2. Then we'll proceed for the energy expression simplification. Okay. So what we are going to do is that, just like the way I was telling, so we are going to write psi n, yes. Psi n2 is equal to a summation k a n k 2 psi k 0. I am going to use this expansion in the second order equations, which is h0 psi n2 h0 psi n2 minus en0 So let us put the psi n2s in the bracket. So H0 minus En0 psi n2 plus H prime minus En1 psi n1 minus En2 psi n0 is 0. So now I'm going to replace psi n2. Okay, I'm going to replace psi n2 by what? That summation. So summation k a n k2 psi k 0 and then psi n1. Okay. Psi n1 psi n1 is from what? K. Okay, so I can do this pre-multiplication business again. Okay, so what happens? So psi L0 H0 minus En0 summation k ANK2 psi k 0. That's my first term. Okay. So what happens to that? So I can write psi L0 H0 k NK2 psi k0 minus En0. I can bring the summation in the front. En0 summation k NK2 psi L0 psi k0. Okay, what it means? So that means I can bring it k NK2. So it will become psi L0 H0 psi k0. Let us write psi L0 psi k0 minus En0. Again I see that, so this has to be this is 0 and 0, so this is L and L, so it survives only for k is equal to L. So then I get ANL2 into 1. Okay. What is the meaning of the first term? Summation ANLK. So that means ANK2 H0. So this I can write. Again, you can do this kind of stuff. H0 psi L0 psi K0, right? So that means you will get EL0 psi L0 psi K0. That means EL0 delta LK. Okay. So that means K ANK2 EL0 and psi L0 psi K0. So delta LK, let us write delta LK minus En0 ANL2. What it means? this, the second term remains as it is. So you again have K is equal to L business. So that means E eventually this becomes A N L 2 E L 0 minus minus this term remains as such minus En 0 Nl 2. So that means I can write El 0 minus En 0 Nl 2. That is the first of this whole story. Okay, so that was this guy. Okay? So this becomes, let us write it here. So this is El0 minus En0 ANL2. That's fine. Okay, so I now, let us do the second term. So psi L0. So this will become, you have pre-multiplied with psi L0, H prime minus En1 K ANK1 psi K 0. Okay, so that means what? Psi L0 H prime K NK1 psi K0 minus, I can bring En1 psi L0 K NK1 psi K0. So just try to simplify what happens if you simplify. Okay, so I can bring again the summation first. Let us put ANK1 psi L0 H prime psi K0 minus En1 Okay. So now it will slowly and slowly becoming easier. Look at both the terms. So K NK1 and this is, now this has become psi L0 H prime LK, right? We have put a notation for the faster, from the faster correction. So this prime, this becomes H prime LK. Okay, I can just erase this H prime LK. H prime LK minus ENN1. So now I see that, so this has to, this can, this term contributes only for K is equal to L. So it becomes K becomes L, En1, NL1, and this becomes 1. Right? And then, so this I cannot simplify any further. So this remains as such. Okay? So from this we get these two terms. this and this. I am left with only this. What is happening? En2, you have pre-multiplied by psi L0, psi N0, right? So you got En2 delta Ln. So let us write these three things together. So all the expressions are now correct. This is now done. This is now done. This is now done. We are just going to put all these expressions together. Let us write it here. So we eventually have ANL2. ANL2. Where is ANL2? This one. ANL2 EL minus EL0 minus En0, and then plus summation k, where is that? Summation k ANK1 H prime LK minus En1 ANL1, and then minus ENL2 minus En2. Let us write it, should give some respect to this guy. Minus En2 Okay, so now let us just do this quickly. So again, just like the previous case, let us see what happens when L is equal to N. So when L is equal to N, I get these things to be 0. Okay, and then L is equal to N. So this becomes En2. So I write equals to En2 in the right hand side. And I am left with this guy. N is equal to L. Okay. So what happens? En2, etc., etc. So I write K, HK prime, HNK. So L is equal to N. Okay. So L is equal to N. So HNK prime, ANK1, okay, HLK prime ANK1 minus EN1, and this becomes your ANN1. Okay, we have just put L is equal to N. Okay, so that means I can write En2 is equal to summation. Okay, let us write it again. So I think it is better that we write En to this side. That will solve the problem. Okay. So that means this is equal to your K summation HNK prime ANK1 minus this EN1. EN1 I just wrote it in the very beginning is HNN prime. HNN prime ANN1. So that means I can write this guy. You see, this is actually just one case of this whole business when your k is equal to n. You see that? So your k is equal to n, you get nn, okay, prime 1. So that means I can write in general this thing as k not equals to n, hk, nk prime, nk 1. ठीक है? Okay. So we'll just write this hkn. So let us write one more expression for hkn. So this will become k not equals to n, h nk prime, and your nk1, remember, I think we wrote somewhere, your nk prime expression is already written here. So we are just going to use the appropriate. So you can write h kn prime over en0 minus ek0. We just used an expression for nk1 here. Okay? So that gives me this beautiful expression, summation k not equals to n Okay, so this is the expression finally. So En2, right? So this expression now is derived. Now this becomes an expression for En2. You see this now? This is very interesting because hkn prime, you have gotten rid of psi n1. Instead, you have written, you see, always it is easier to calculate the matrix elements rather than the wave functions. Hkn prime is only this guy, psi L0, H prime, psi N0. I am happy to have this kind of expressions rather than psi N1. You understand? So that is why, so you are interested in, so this case, look at this K. What is the K? K, you are considering the perturbation in the second order in the nth state. In the nth state. So, and the sum is for all the K's not equal to n. You see that? So that means you consider all the states other than the n. Other than the n, and then you calculate the matrix element. So that means you started with a n, and you have all the intermediate states which are called k. So here is a sum over all the k states which is not equal to n. And then you return back. So because h prime kn star means what? H prime kn into h prime nk. That's what it was. Because of the hermiticity and this star, etc., you got a modulus, right? So it is almost, so these intermediate steps, so you went from n to k, and then from k to n, you again come back. Okay, so these are nothing but the matrix elements which can be calculated. And what is this? Energies of the zeroth state, sorry, energy of the nth state at the zeroth order, the k zeroth level of perturbation. So you can always do this. The interesting stuff is always look at the ground state. If you are looking for the nth state, you know, nth state correction, energy, this energy is lower than this, so there is no energy difference. A is apparently the higher state, cannot be lower than the, so K, so that the second order energy correction is always negative from this expression. energy correction is always negative for any perturbation. This becomes the working expression energy. So in the next class, we'll do, we have already did, but we just did not write it properly. 1 and psi n 2. That will give a little bit of good idea about this perturbation. This, right? And then exercise about holistic problem. So is there any issue? Is there any confusion or anything to be discussed? We have half the class. How many will be there if we continue for the tutorial? Not half, actually we have 1/4 in the class. I guess it is 44. So it is exactly 11, including myself. So is there any question or is there any comment or is there any? So very soon we will have to do this tutorial. So before we go for that, so please see if there is any question. Or
Sir, the video was blurring at the last 2 minutes. Can you repeat what you said once again, please?
which one? Or the last few sentences that I said?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. After this case not equal to n, this expression.
Okay, not equal to n. Okay. So if you are considering, okay, let me show you something. That will be easier for you. So you can always make it simple. So this is your A, this is your B. Okay. So this is, what is A? What A is your unperturbed system. And this chalk is not good. So this is B, your perturbed system, right? What you see is this unperturbed state, say suppose this, okay? And then what is this? So this is a psi k psi 0, okay? Psi 0 0. Psi 0 0 psi 0 1. What it meaning of 1? Psi 0 0, sorry. Psi 0 0 with energy E0, unperturbed state, right? And this is your psi 0, not 0, psi 0 0. This is psi 0 0. I am trying to give both the state and order index. That is why so many confusion zeros are coming. And this guy is actually E0 0. Right. So what it means is that first order unperturbed wave function with corresponding energy 0. Right. And this is your perturbed wave function. I would not give 0. I would not give 0. Let us see. So this is my first order correction. This is my first order energy. Right. Then you have this. So this is for the ground state. That now I can give psi 1 0. That means for the first excited state. This is the state. So you have used the perturbation theory. So let us write. So this is psi 2 0. This is psi 3 0. That means so this is here, this is here. That means the unperturbed wave functions in the 0th state, first state, second state, third state, just like this. So these are the state index. Right? And this is the order of correction. 0th order, 0th order, 0th order, 0th order. What are these? These are the corresponding energies. So E0, E1, E2, E3. You can give a 0 to denote the 0th order. Okay. So this is the basic structure. Now let us see what is this side. So this side is now you are actually putting the perturbation. So this is your unperturbed system. Now you have included perturbation. Your system has come here, lambda. what has happened to the structure? Let us look at the spectrum. What has happened to the spectrum? Your E energy, E has become, psi 0 has become psi 0. Okay, and E energy has become E0. I do not give any, so this is now 1. So this is after the first order correction. After the first order correction, ground state has become psi 10 with the corresponding energy E10. You understand? So this was your E00. So there is a corresponding energy difference, E10. Now you come here. So this is the second state. Second state, but so what is this state? Psi 1, 1. And what is the energy? Corresponding energy is E1, 1. That means I have from the ground state, this should be little bit lower actually. So I have used the perturbation, first order perturbation, only first order perturbation. Only first order perturbation to all the states in the unperturbed system. What did I get? I get the wave function psi 1, 1 and with a corresponding energy E11. Now I apply the first order correction to the second state. What do I get? Psi 2, 1 with a corresponding energy E21. You understand? That is how the structure goes. Now look at here. What you asked is here. So if I am considering the perturbation second order energy correction in the second order energy correction in the ground state. So this is my first order correction. Apparently there should be another second order correction. What it will give you? Psi 02 with a corresponding energy of E02. Sorry. And we have said that if the perturbation is not very strong, the series will converge in the lower orders, right? Say maybe first order or second order. So in most problems, we expect that the series converges for one or first order, second order, or to the most third order, because the calculation becomes extremely difficult, right? So if I do this, so you can see that En0 minus Ek0, and you are considering the perturbation, second order perturbation in the nth state. Where is the energy difference? Ek0. You see that Ek, what are Ks? The higher states, right? K is not equal to n. Remember that expression? I have erased. So if Ks are not equal to n, that means Ks are definitely higher states. So that means En0 minus Ek0 term is always negative. And your numerator, oh sorry, it is here. So numerator is always actually a square. So it's a positive contribution. And here you have a denominator which is always going to give a negative term. Right? So that is why your second order energy correction for any perturbation, we have not made any comment about what kind of perturbation, etc., right? So for every perturbation, the second order energy contribution to the energy is actually negative. That's what I said. And also you should remember, also you should see from this expression, the Ks are higher states, right? But if you have, because it is in the denominator, En minus Ek0, so the states which are close to n, so this is your n, say for example, and these are your K states. This is in the 0th level, unperturbed system, right? So if these Ks are supposedly these guys in this little picture, if it is your n, these are your Ks. So this energy difference minus this energy difference, the first term. This energy difference minus this energy difference. This energy difference minus this energy difference between this state and this state, right? So if you do that, so this is the lowest one. This is the smallest energy contribution, but it has the maximum contribution because it is in the denominator. So that means the states which are nearest to the our considered state, they will have the maximum contribution in the first second order correction. That's also seen from the equation. Are we clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir, I did
Vinod?
not understand why K will be always greater than N. Like,
K will be okay. Okay, you did not understand. Okay, because we at this moment we are discussing the we are discussing the perturbation theory can be applied for ground state and excited states, right? For an arbitrary state, it can be applied. Yes or no?
yes, yeah.
So now if I focus the perturbation theory in the ground state, so your N is actually ground state, right? Because you are
Um,
considering the contribution in the ground
yes.
state.
Mm-hmm.
If it is your N is the ground state, what will be the case? There is no state lower than K, N, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So they have
Yeah.
to be higher states.
Mm.
So for any arbitrary contribution, any perturbation, if you are considering the perturbation theory in the ground state, the contribution is negative. That's what I said.
Mm. Okay, sir.
Okay, very good. So is there any other, is this very, I just hope that you can make some comments about the, that how we are doing in the class. Okay. If you do not put your suggestions, it is very difficult for me to understand from a long distance. I do not see any body language, so it's very difficult. Please make some comments so that we can make use of our time in a fruitful manner. Okay, I guess we'll take 5 minutes break and then we'll come for a little bit of tutorial. We have already spent some time, but I guess we'll do I was thinking to do this tunneling business. So I'll do this very little tedious algebra, but some of your friends said that, so I'll do one such exercise, very in a very very general manner. Okay, so we'll do this in 3-4 minutes. Okay,
Sir,
ठीक है?
this perturbation calculation, is this done in Levin's book? Like, can you suggest a book like where
Yeah,
this
yeah, it is
calculation?
done in Levin's book. The
Okay, sir.
definitely any book is good. Let me tell you, there is a book called Pillar, Frank L. Pillar, very beautiful book. Everybody should read that. There is a book by Levin. Everybody knows that. But you also look at this book. I like this book very much. I'm not very sure, but when I discuss, I take materials from a lot of books. I do not know which book particularly, but the concepts are very similar. Okay, but please read book. So I guess these books are very convenient books for you. ठीक है?
Okay.
Okay. So just let us take a break for 3-4 minutes. Okay, then I'll come back. I'll just wash my hands and come back. All right. Hello. All right. अरे बाबा कुछ बोलो. Okay, so we'll try to quickly do this tunneling business, which I gave you as an assignment. I'm not sure when did I give the last assignment, but have I given the third assignment or fourth? I do not remember. If anybody remembers, did I give you any assignment before going puja? Sorry, before the puja vacation? You can write in the chat box. Okay. So what I'll do is that okay, I gave a problem which is like this: Vx is equal to 0 for x less than 0, Vx is equal to V0 for 0 less than x less than a, and Vs is equal to 0 for x greater than a. So if you draw this potential, it looks like this. So this is V0, we can write V0, okay. This is region 1, this is region 2, this is region 3. Okay, so I am going to describe these two by the coefficients AB. This is CD and this is FG. I just leave E for the, because it has confusion with energy, and this is 0, this is A. That is the problem. Okay, and we have also said there are two components of this problem. One is the energy is less than V0. This is the case 1. And the other one is the E greater than V0. So we are going to first the important case of E less than V0. Okay. So what will happen E less than V0? So I need to write psi 1x equal to A e to the power I kx plus b to the power minus I kx. You can write the Schrodinger equation in three regions, right? Minus h cross square by twice m d square psi dx square. What is b in this region? Is 0, right? So in this region there is no v. We can take it as 0. So you can write, let us write one of them. So minus h cross square by twice m d square psi dx square, okay, plus 0 is equal to E psi. So if you do this rearrangement, so eventually d square psi dx square, d square psi dx square, someone wants to join, admit. Okay, I do not know who is Anjan Datta, but let us. Okay, so if you do this rearrangement, you can eventually write psi 1 x is equal to psi 1 x means in the region on a to the power I kx plus b to the power minus I kx, where k is root over twice me over h cross square. That's my k. Psi 2x, can you write psi 2x and psi 3x in terms of CDFG? I know all of you have done this. Can somebody write, please? Or tell me what should I do? What should be the solution in this region 2? Who can say? Bolo, koi bolo, Rohan, you can say?
Sir, c e to the power kx plus d to the power minus kx.
C e to the power, we'll write the minus this side, okay? D e to the power kappa x, that's fine. And what is kappa? Kappa is root over twice m into V0 minus E over H cross square, right? Rohan?
Yes, sir.
ठीक है? Okay. And so psi 3x will be what? We do not have any g, okay? So g has to be 0. So, and f is e to the power I kx, because this will be the same k as over here, because here v is the same in these two regions, right? So this is the summary of the problem, right? What do I do? My strategy, what is the strategy to solve this problem? Rohan, what is the strategy to solve this problem? Yeah? Abhilipsa, what is the strategy if you are here? Those of you who are here, I hope you are at least interested. Those of you who are here, yeah?
So we can take the boundary condition that psi at x at the region x equal to
Can you
0.
say in the form of an equation? Bolo, boundary condition, yes, psi 1.
Psi 1 at 0 equal to psi 3 at 0. Oh, sorry, at a. 0.
Right? And what are the other conditions? Right? So these two conditions needs to be satisfied. This one gives very quickly a plus b equal to c plus d, and this one gives a, you need to do the derivative a I k e to the power I k x minus b I k e to the power minus I k x is equal to minus kappa c. I'm just writing, it's little bit tedious, but if you do not do these things, you will be in trouble. If you are, no serious research can be done without learning the nuts and bolts. If you think that it is possible, it is not possible. So that's why you need to do. And if you do not do it now, you will never do it. Okay, so I got two conditions and their corresponding equations are here. Similarly, I need to do in this side. So psi 2 at x is equal to a is equal to psi 3 at x is equal to a, and psi 2 prime at x is equal to a is equal to psi 3 prime at x is equal to a. That two equations will give you. So eventually, if you put the values of x and this क्या बोलते हैं तुम्हारा x is equal to 0, you can write the last equation a I k e to the power 0 minus b I k. I can skip certain steps. So eventually, you will get a I k minus b I k is equal to minus kappa c plus kappa d. So these two are the corresponding equations. So you'll get another set of equations from the psi 2 a is psi 3a, psi 3a, and psi 2 prime a is equal to psi 3 prime a. That's what we'll do. Okay. So if you do that, So that then you can put these proper values in the x in the A. So that will give you C e to the power minus kappa A plus D e to the power kappa A is equal to F e to the power I K A. Okay. The derivative ones will give you minus C K e to the power minus kappa A plus D kappa e to the power kappa A is equal to F I K e to the power I K A. These two sets of equations and the other two sets of equations where A plus B is equal to C plus D and AIK minus BIK is equal to minus kappa C plus kappa D. Okay, you can delete the everything else. Okay, so we can do several things. So we can first simplify these two guys. So you can do, okay, and that gives you, so let us write A, we can write it here, AIK plus BIK is equal to CIK plus DIK. So by adding and subtracting, you will get two equations, twice AIK is equal to IK minus kappa into C plus IK plus kappa into D. Okay. And subtracting, you will get twice B IK is equal to IK plus kappa C plus IK minus kappa into D. Similarly, manipulating these two guys, you can do a simple kappa multiplication and then addition and subtraction will give you twice dk, twice d kappa e to the power kappa A plus, sorry, equal to F ik plus kappa e to the power ika, that is the addition, and the subtraction will give you twice C kappa e to the power minus kappa A is equal to F kappa minus ik e to the power ika. Okay, so therefrom you can write C, where is C? C. So C you can write F. So I think we need to, we can just write from here C is equal to F kappa minus ik into e to the power ik over twice k twice kappa e to the power minus kappa A. Okay, and similarly D, let us write D separately. So this is gone. D is equal to F into ik plus kappa e to the power ika twice kappa e to the power kappa A. Sure. So now we can put these C and D's here. Okay. So if you do that, that will give you So I can write it twice A I K. Just write one step and then we can into C. Okay, this is C plus Ik plus kappa into D. So that gives you, please put this in this equation. So you can write minus Ik minus kappa whole square F by twice kappa e to the power Ik plus kappa A plus Ik plus kappa whole square F over twice kappa e to the power Ik minus kappa A. That's what you will get. Okay, so you can do some rearrangement to get eventually we can write 4A Ik kappa into, you can divide by e to the power I kappa A, okay, e to the power Ika, e to the power Ika, e to the power minus Ik in the left hand side equal to F into minus Ik minus kappa square e to the power kappa A plus Ik plus kappa square e to the power minus kappa A. ठीक है? Okay, so you can do some, these guys you can, so this becomes minus, let us write minus k square plus kappa square minus twice Ik kappa e to the power kappa A, and this guy becomes minus k square plus kappa square plus twice Ik kappa into e to the power, right? This becomes this becomes this. If you do that, so I can write eventually 4AKI is equal to, so I can simplify further. If you can rewrite this as, make some rearrangement to eventually get here k square minus kappa square e to the power kappa A plus minus k square plus kappa square e to the power minus kappa A plus twice Ik kappa e to the power kappa A, okay, plus twice Ik kappa e to the power minus kappa A. That's all you get. So that gives you can write eventually F into k square minus kappa square e to the power kappa A minus k square minus kappa square e to the power minus kappa A, and then plus twice Ik kappa twice Ik kappa into e to the power kappa A plus e to the power minus kappa A. You can do this. So then I can write, I can get A, here is A and here is F. Okay, so I can write F is equal to eventually, F is equal to 4A Ik kappa e to the power minus Ika over k square minus kappa square e to the power kappa a minus e to the power minus kappa a plus twice I k kappa e to the power kappa a So you can now do this to e to the power minus kappa a, okay? So I can write this as, so this I can write 2 sine hyperbolic kappa a, 2 sine hyperbolic and then that guy I can write as 2 cos hyperbolic. Okay. So then, yes, okay. Okay, and then you can get rid of these 2's, etc., to write eventually to f is equal to, you can simplify this, twice a I k kappa e to the power minus I k a over, you can write eventually k square minus kappa square sine hyperbolic kappa a plus twice I k kappa cos hyperbolic kappa a. So if that is the case, so you can write f over a, because I am interested in the f over a because that is your transmission coefficient. So I have f and a, right? F over a, so you will do a modulus, okay? So that is the t, that will become, so I just need to do a modulus of this guy. So what will happen? So you can see that we can do it here actually. So let us do f square over a square over here. What will happen? So this guy, so twice a, so we'll now square this guy, okay? So first of all, this guy will go, e to the minus I k, if you do this complex conjugate, it will vanish, okay? And then you will have to write minus twice I a k kappa as a complex conjugate. And this guy will become sine square sine hyperbolic square kappa a. And here I need to write, so this will be twice I k kappa, so that means into this minus, right? So minus, so there will be a minus 4 k square kappa square into, there is an I which is giving you minus 1, and then cos hyperbolic square kappa a, that will become my t. Okay? So I can write this as, so this is becoming, so minus 4i square, so I can write it as 4 k square, okay? Minus minus plus, and then k square minus etc. Sine hyperbolic square k plus 4 k square. So this becomes plus now. Okay. But this cos hyperbolic square I can write is as 1 plus sine hyperbolic square kappa a. Right. So then 4 k square, so this becomes, we can just write it, break it. What do you get? K to the power 4 plus kappa to the power 4 minus 2 k square kappa square. Okay? Sine hyperbolic square, okay, plus 4 k square kappa square plus 4 kappa square, etc. So that can be written as, so I can, you see that minus 2 k square kappa square sine hyperbolic square k plus 4 k square kappa square sine hyperbolic square will come, right? So that means this which was remaining as minus k square minus kappa square, it actually becomes k square plus kappa square. You understand? So I can write it, so eventually it will become plus, and then you will get rid of this sine hyperbolic square, but you will be left with only 4k square kappa square into 1. Okay? So that means this becomes k square plus kappa square whole square. Okay? So now you can just write, so this you can divide by 4k square kappa square. So this will become 4 k square kappa square, and this will become 1. Right? So then eventually you can get the desired expression which was asked. You can get rid of this guy. So that was the expression for the transmission coefficient. Okay? So I think in the next class we will do so this was your E less than V0. Remember, E less than V0. What needs to be done is this guy now. Okay? So I guess we'll do it in the next class and some other stuff. Okay? Any question? Any comments or anything? Otherwise, we'll see then tomorrow at 2 o'clock. We'll continue the perturbation theory, the remaining portions. ठीक है?